Well. So when I saw the title of this video and the name, I thought this female had looked familiar. But this is the same female dating coach from one of my last videos, one of my previous videos. Basically, she was just calling out women. And now this time, it's going to be Rebecca Lynn Pope calls out superficial dating. So I kind of like this. I'm not getting any Nawalt vibes or anything like that from her or anything, but I just like that she's actually giving out decent advice for women, and yeah, man, I just I just figured I'd post it on the channel because why not? 'Cause she is low key dropping them red pills. So let's get into it.
Different. But this guy, like, he was the flashy guy, okay? Like the cars, the houses, everything. And what men need to understand is there's guys like this who shine women on. Like they literally lay it on thick. And in that one experience, I dated him for several months. And I started to not like him because he wasn't authentic enough for me. All that flashy stuff is fine to get your attention, but then there's got to be substance and it's got to be like more for me, you know? And so I'm getting to know him and I'm just kind of like,
Like you said, all the flashy stuff, all the good stuff will get women's attention, man.
This ain't it, you know? And I had a best friend, a guy best friend, who I'll never forget. I broke up with that guy or stopped seeing him, and I met somebody else, and he was like an engineer and like a professor at like a college. And we went on a date, and I came home, and my best friend, my best guy friend, calls me. How'd the date go? Da-da-da. And I was like, he's all right. You know, he drives a Ford Explorer. He's da-da-da. And my friend got really quiet, like, what? Yeah. And he was like, why did you just say that? He's like, that's not how you talk. That is not you. Yeah. No, what is going on with you? And I literally, he checked me, right? He checked me, and it was like just that with one experience of this shiny, flashy.
Oh, snap. That went over my head the first time she said that. I just missed that. But basically she's saying ever since she's been with that rich Chad or Tyrone, that regular guy with a regular car or whatever, it's just wasn't, you know.
Over the top guy. Yeah. I had taken my preferences and my standards and put them here to say I deserve. Yeah.
See, and that's the problem with dating in today's society. That's also the problem with social media and things like that. Because when an 18-year-old girl gets hits on by some guy, maybe that has like 120,000 in his bank account, then all of a sudden, that's the only type of guy that female will look at. Um, and anything less than him, like, she won't be satisfied. She won't even give a chance. She won't acknowledge their existence, regardless of the man's good or bad personality.
So Rebecca, let's pause real quick. Let's remember the question I asked you because I don't want to get lost in this. Let me tell you a story that happens in Atlanta.
Okay.
What happens in Atlanta is that a lot of these guys with money, they, like you said, laid on thick to a lot of different women.
Yes.
But the thing
I was like one of 10 for that.
One of 10 different females, man. I swear they're talking about future me.
Guy.
And so what happens is a lot of times it's just sex and just casual things. But what happens is the women, they think that this guy really wants to be with them.
Yes.
So now it sets a whole new standard. So you
never wanted to be.
Yeah, every freaking guy that guys or not guys, every freaking guy that women sleeps with or that they're attracted to, once they spread that butterfly poon, you know what I'm saying? These females, they just think that they're entitled to your intention. They think they're entitled to your money and all that other good stuff.
With me.
So now you have a whole bunch of guys making all these women think I deserve baller or bust.
This is my new standard.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Like I said, that's the problem with today's society. Soon as that average woman, soon as that good-looking woman gets a man of high status, she instantly raises her standards and her freaking, well, yeah, just her standards. And that's kind of what cripples women in relationships long term wise, because, you know, that same 18-year-old woman can't go after the that man who has unlimited choices, not in her later years anyway. And that's where these females screw up, because also in their later years, they're just accustomed to being flying through all the world, or going country to country or state to state, and just buying whatever they want. And then when they hit the wall, and then they go from going all across the world and country, the states, and all that good stuff, uh, life just turns upside down for them, which I obviously I have no sympathy for, because, you know, I'm just tired of these females always trying to take the easy route, like work something or work on something. Goodness gracious.
But I just.
And another thing, stop sleeping around, because you're never going to get that rich guy to marry you. And even if you did, well, we all know, so we all know what happens, especially when women marry at a young age. Because nowadays, either women can, either nowadays women are guaranteed to hoe around at a young age, or if they don't hoe around at a young age, they'll want to hoe around in their 30s, 40s, 50s, because they didn't get that chance to, or they had friends that were doing that all throughout their lives. And that's actually happened to plenty of guys, you know. So that's another problem with just getting a virgin, sadly, because thanks to all these movements, all these women with the mindset of sleeping around, or sleeping around behind their boyfriends or husbands' backs, uh, it's almost practically impossible for a woman not to be a hoe. Shoot, once you go out in the freaking forest or jungle, build a house there, and live a lifestyle like that.
Gotta find the guy who's the good guy and all the other intrinsic stuff that I was missing with this guy. Not realizing, back to apples and oranges. This is not boyfriend material. This is not husband material. This is that F-boy dude that you just play with. But that's not how women think. They don't think like that. So they don't categorize these guys like this. And this is what I saw in matchmaking. They're coming to me wanting that guy.
See that? That's the problem. This dude probably thinking the same damn thing I am. Like, goddamn gold digging bitches. I'm getting tired of that shit.
With all the other intrinsic values of being faithful and loving and kind and all the other stuff they're looking for.
Exactly. They expect all those things from that, or they want all those things from that rich guy with the resources, but they're not gonna get that guy. And there's only like 3 types of rich men that women have an option of getting with. They can get with the rich guy who's just gonna smash and pass, and who also has like 5, 10, 15, 20 different bitches. Or they can go for the beta male, which we all know how that goes. Doesn't matter how rich a beta male is. Women cheat on them, divorce them. But I mean, hey, show me a rich beta male out there who's in a happy relationship, and I'll shut my mouth. uh, and that's also famous. But yeah, and then they've got the third rich guy, um, the freaking, the freaking. They've also got the option of the freaking married guy, but they're obviously not gonna get that guy. But it still doesn't stop females from trying. Doesn't stop females from trying to steal other men's guys or whatever, other women's men or husbands, because these hoes don't care.
That wasn't in that guy.
Wow.
And I'm like, you're looking for Superman. That doesn't exist. And if it does exist, he doesn't want you. He has too many options and he doesn't want you. Or he's been married for 20 years because he got locked down a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? So
See, that's exactly what I was trying to say. And then there's also the rich divorce guy. So there's the likelihood of a woman convincing a rich man who's been divorced. It's probably going to be very low, but there are some stupid rich men out there who get married and married and married until they freaking end up living on the streets, which I honestly have no sympathy for. If you're a high percent man and you've got every woman in the country, every woman in the world chasing you, and you get married, I'm sorry. Even though my respect means nothing to you, I'm sorry, but wow.
it's like, but that is a
Just tired of these rich men getting married. Gives all these freaking pea brain gold digging hoes hope that they're gonna one day get a man
real experience.
or get a high caliber man. I mean,
It's to where the human mind has the ability to have like one experience, and now that becomes the standard. That becomes the new norm. Yeah. And if I had not had a friend to check me about it, it's like, you're that little girl from Ohio. Yeah. Like, cut it out. Yeah.
And see, these female friends or male friends, they don't be freaking checking these bitches, you know? So that's when every woman is basically, as soon as they get a taste of that rich guy, of that powerful guy, since no one is checking them out, putting them in their place, they just go on a chasing spree of the rich Chad and Tyrone. And it just screws them over in the long run because they think that they're going to get the guy who has like 10, 15 different bitches in a circle. So they just end up wasting their youth, fertility, and they hit the wall. And then they have the audacity to say hashtag men are trash, hashtag kill all men, hashtag anything negative about masculinity. I'm just tired of that double standard as well. Chase all the horrible guys when you can get a guy anytime you want. But then when your options are practically limited, you want to bash all men. I'm just tired of it.
Do not.
When will society make women take accountability?
Not start acting like this, because he'd been in Atlanta for a long time, and he was like, Rebecca, no, please do not turn into that girl.
Man.
Yeah, homeboy probably already knew what was gonna happen. He probably has a few female friends that took that route, you know.
And the sad reality is, I meet so many girls like that in Atlanta, and they have one or two experiences with a rapper or an athlete, and it creates this whole new standard for men. And then, like you said, they reject so many great men
until they're 30, 35, ran through, have a body count of 100 penises,
who would be great matches for them because they want, hood Jesus.
I agree. And one of the things that was also I became aware of when my friend was kind of checking me about this is that you literally think that you deserve that just by who you are. So there's this, because all you did was be pretty to get.
See, it's just freaking that self-entitled attitude,
that man's attention.
That's what 80 to 90% of these females have. And I'm not even lying either. Most men know about the 80-20 rule, but if you don't, there's 80% of women. I mean, there's a study, an actual study that says 80% of women only find 20% of men attractive. Basically, what I get from that, there's only 20% of women who aren't complete gold diggers. But 20%, come on now. And shoot, this isn't even counting, considering my homeboy Young Daly's red pill. This isn't even considering the 90-10 rule that women might freaking go to.
You didn't have to have, if you're a beautiful woman, you didn't have to have anything else going on for you because they don't care about those things. That dude, the player dude, does not care about anything else. So now
that makes me think of freaking Tommy, whatever the bitch's name is.
Just being a pretty girl, I deserve this. That is so flawed, and it is so jacked up. And if you take that experience at 25, and then you start only dating in that direction, well, then like you say, by the time she's meeting some really good guys, she's completely dismissed.
And then you add it to the social media generation.
Exactly. Hold up, let him finish.
You maybe be 20 years old and they're sliding in your DMs en masse, sending 100 DMs a day. So now you got a DM from, freaking, J.R. Smith or, some.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. The double-edged sword of freaking social media, man. All these females are getting hit up by rich men at a young age. And then as soon as they get hit up by those men, as soon as they get ran through by those men, or as soon as they go on a freaking trip with those men for the first time, all of a sudden, that's the new standard. They want the 666 guy. They want the guy who has unlimited options, the piece of shit asshole guy. Hard for me to feel sorry, but these females do this shit to themselves. That'd be like me turning down a bunch of virgins because they lack sexual experience for prostitutes. That'd be stupid. But I mean, that was probably the worst analogy I've ever done. Sorry about that. Let's just go.
Super celebrity, now all of a sudden that feeds your value. I remember there was this, and we gotta get back to the advice for the guys, but I remember there was this girl on Tinder, and she had a picture of her next to Odell Beckham. Oh, God. Smiling.
That was her pick.
And her caption was, "I effed Odell Beckham. Get on my level."
Paused that at the perfect time. But her face is the exact same as my face. So women really think that by messing around with celebrities, that guys will be impressed by that. Shoot, a beta male might see that and he might be all of a sudden freaking not interested. You know what I'm saying? These females are literally bragging about the guys that they have, the body counts that they have. And it's just disgusting. The lack of accountability, the lack of disgust that they feel, the lack of shame. It's like those things don't even exist anymore in women's head. And I bet you that woman is gonna be single in her 30s. The Tinder chick with the celebrity as a profile picture.
Are you
take that picture, but so she literally was under the idea because I had sex with this guy. Now I'm on this top-notch chick level, and you guys gotta get on my level. Yeah, the world is changing.
The world is changing negatively, man. And it's just worse that men aren't even allowed to speak out on it. Only women can, and they barely can because sometimes they get backlash. But when men do it, especially men who are famous or have power, we gotta make a freaking public apology. We gotta bend over backwards. And I just think it's stupid. And I'm just tired of it. But yeah, I think that'll be it for this video. I might make a part 2. There's only a few minutes, but there's also a freaking, I guess it was a live stream or something, but it's pretty long. I'll show you what it looks like in case you want to type that in. And then here's the 9-minute version. But yeah.